Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode lucky number 13. We are down 2 people to start. One will be joining us shortly, partway in, but we will be down our cleric tonight. But that's okay. We're gonna soldier
What could
on
go wrong?
ahead. What could possibly go wrong? We're gonna soldier on ahead. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell here on YouTube. And for the podcast listeners out there, how's it going? If you could, leave us a rating, a review, follow the podcast, all that good stuff. And also, everyone should follow us on social media at Rollers Guild DND at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I've been trying to find good GIFs for the Twitter posts about it. So if you want to see my sad attempts at clever GIFs for the Twitter posts, make sure you follow us there. But with that all being said, let's go ahead and dive on in to tonight's episode. Content warning. Ravenloft as a setting can feature disturbing themes and ideas, and while it is never going to be our intention to upset anyone, it is worth noting. Be advised that this story arc features ghosts, dysfunctional families, cruel clergy, murder, and references to suicide. Last time, shortly after arriving at the Ainsley's grand country estate, the party's meeting with the Ainsleys was interrupted by an attack on their property. Plants had come to life and were attacking the estate, injuring and killing several of the poor workers. The party leapt into action, defeating the plant creatures and saving the lives of several of the workers on the estate. The Ainsleys seemed only to worry about the property damage caused by the fight, but were nonetheless thankful for the party's assistance in defeating the monsters. The party were shown to a suite of rooms where they could freshen up and were told they had 4 hours until dinner time. You all quickly began brainstorming ways that you could find out more about where Brother Francis is, using the cover of being guests here at the estate. But first, you were going to take a short rest. So this is where we start with everybody, if you haven't already, take a short rest. Use that time to take a nap, bandage wounds, take a bath, whatever. But yeah, take an hour of downtime here to sort of freshen up. And then you'll still have about 3 hours until dinner time after your short rest. So if there's anything anybody wants to do before then, I know you were making some plans at the end of the last episode. But if you want to move forward with those plans, or if you want to change your plans or whatever, you've got about 3 hours after your short rest to do so.
Well, one of our plans did involve the cleric that is not joining us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't...
You can still have her, go do that because if somebody was going to go with her, you could still do that.
I was going to go with her.
I guess she was just supposed to pray.
Yep, go pray in the chapel.
Yeah,
Place of
If there is
worship.
one.
if there is one.
If there is
Yeah.
one, we could still do that. While we're getting ready, I'm going to give a rousing speech, and everyone will get 13 temporary hit points again.
Thank goodness.
That's not added on to what we had
Correct.
previously, correct?
You take the larger amount. So if you have a small amount of temporary hit points, and the 13 temporary hit points would be larger, you take the 13 instead, but you don't add it up.
Doesn't stack.
Right.
We've also got a guard right outside, right?
Yeah, but we were gonna ask. I think the plan was to ask the guard.
Is it a
If
guard or
there's-
just like a servant?
There's someone we don't. I don't know if we actually
I don't think we've seen.
know.
We
They
just
just
stuff
said
like
that
blankets
somebody
and
would
pillows at the bottom of the door.
Yeah. From what I can remember, they just said
Yeah,
that there was someone.
I'll just poke my head out and
Yeah.
ask her.
Yeah, you
A
poke your
drink.
head out. There's a they seem to be a servant of some kind standing outside your door. Certainly. What would you like to drink?
Whatever the best wine recommendation is.
Absolutely, right away. I'll fetch you some wine. Be right back.
Thank you so much.
Comes
While
back with
Artemis is
Brightshield.
doing this, can I peek like between his legs to see if there are other guards or servants?
You peek your head out between Artemis's legs. This servant
Nyx.
goes away and to fetch some wine. Make a perception check for me.
Ooh, that's a natural 20 for a total of 25.
Wow.
Ooh.
You peek out into the hallway. You don't see anyone in the immediate vicinity.
I'm gonna go snoop.
Okay, great. You pop out into the hallway, and you go snooping. What? Well, I guess number one, make a stealth check for me.
Wait, do you want help? Can you make yourself invisible?
No. Do you want to use that now?
I mean, I've got a lot. Okay. Okay with my magic feeling. I feel pretty good.
I'll take it.
Just promise me something.
Yeah.
Don't do anything without backup.
Yeah.
You know you shouldn't do without backup, and you know. But in general, get in some trouble.
Uh-huh. How long does this last again?
1 hour. I cannot tell you. I won't be able to give you the heads up that it's
Yeah.
about to end.
Look, couldn't you message me?
Only if I can, I believe, see you.
Oh, I thought it was within.
no,
You're
I
more
can point in a
familiar with the
direction.
target.
If you're within 100 plus ish feet, it might
Yeah,
reach you.
I'll just go. Let's just go to another room. And oh, if you hear, actually, I'll slide a piece of paper under the door when I'm invisible, but right outside, and then you can go send the guard back out on another errand, and I can come back in.
That works. Sure. Easy.
Oh.
Best.
Before you go,
Yeah,
who
we do
has
have a
that?
limited.
Yeah,
one.
you're running out of time before the guard gets back.
Yeah, who has the bag that had that belonged to the priest?
Oh, I think that technically Penny has that because
I think Penny has
I took the money and then gave it back as a donation to the church, and then Penny was like, "Oh no, we should keep that as evidence."
Okay, fantastic.
So-
That's all I want to know.
When the guard
That's
gets back, I can ask the guard for a place of worship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll invisible Nyx.
Do I
Okay.
have advantage?
You have advantage on your stealth check now. I was rolling to see if the guard came back, and he hasn't come back yet.
That's 28.
28. A very good stealth check. What are you looking for? I guess you don't really have a good sense of the layout of
Right.
this mansion
I'm just.
yet.
Are there any open doors near where I am?
You're gonna try to stay in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to go too far.
Okay. You begin poking around on the second floor.
Like, I don't mean unlocked. I mean like doors are open.
Yeah.
Okay.
You begin poking around here on the second floor. Most of the doors are closed, but you're looking around. You do see, as you sort of come to the corner of this, like, this hall leads into sort of a balcony area overlooking the entrance.
Mhm.
And you see Mr. Ainsley, Lord Ainsley, speaking with a what appears to be a butler. And as you can actually look, you can tell that this is the same staff member that was outside of your room just a couple minutes ago.
I'm gonna listen.
And you hear them talking as they sort of approach this set of closed doors. And one of them, Lord Ainsley, is opening them and says, "So they just wanted a bottle of wine, Bertrand?" And Bertrand says, "Yes, Lord. They just wanted a bottle of wine, something nice. Just wanted to clear it with you before I grabbed anything too terribly nice." And Lord Ainsley just sort of nods as he's opening these doors into Nyx. As you sort of your angle, you can see that it appears to be some kind of office. He says, yes, very well. We did get a couple bottles from that that's traveler who stopped by when was it? A couple months ago. Seemed like nice bottles, but not really familiar with the brand. Just get them one of those. He says, "Right away, Lord, right away." And Bertrand scurries off, and Lord Ainsley goes to enter his office. Nyx, you could attempt to follow him in if you so desired. There would be a check involved.
What could go wrong?
I mean, why not? Why not?
Sure. Okay. So this is a matter of like squeezing through the door as he's closing it, not bumping into him.
Yeah.
You already made a killer stealth check.
Sure did.
I think this is probably a matter of acrobatics.
Invisible acrobatics.
Not my best. It's gonna be a 13.
Okay. I now need you to roll me another stealth check.
With advantage?
You're invisible, so you still have advantage.
25.
Okay, so here's what happens. You like leap to get through the door just in time. You manage to squeeze through, but the door like catches you as you're going in, and the door like jolts stop, and you manage to squeeze in, and Lord Ainsley like seems, "What the devil?" That cursed wench closes the door the rest of the way, and you are in Lord Ainsley's office with him.
What do I see?
you see this is a very well-appointed office, lots of bookcases, huge desk that Lord Ainsley, like, he sort of looks around the room suspiciously for a minute, crosses over to these like large windows that are looking out the back side of the house, of the mansion, glances like out the windows a little nervously. He just sort of curses under his breath, makes his way. There's sort of desk on one side of the room, fireplace on the opposite side of the room. He makes his way over to the desk, and settles in behind the desk and sort of pulls out a large tome and begins working away at it with doing some kind of work at this tome. So you're not sure from where you're currently standing what this large book is, but size-wise, you guess some kind of business ledger.
Sure. What's he got laying around?
In terms of just like laying around, this room is pretty clean. He didn't like leave just a bunch of stuff like out. Like I said, lots of bookcases in here. There's a fireplace, no fire in the fireplace currently. And yeah, Ainsley's just sort of at his desk writing in this ledger. So we'll pop back over to you though. The rest of you are in the suite. There's a knock at the door. And as you go and open it, the servant who was outside before says, My apologies about the wait. This here's what we brought for you. A nice wine that we got from a traveler. And Artemis, he passes a very familiar looking bottle over to you. How
familiar?
This is a bottle of red wine from Brightshield Vintage.
Can I keep my shit together? 3. No.
Oh no. What's your bonus on keeping shit together?
I don't know. Is that deception? Is that
a constitution?
I guess this is a question. If you want to, what kind of check is this? This is just a check that you're making for your own self. But I could see it being either a wisdom-based check to like hold yourself together with your like will, or a charisma-based like deception check to try to hide from others how much this is upsetting you.
Well, charisma would be better, but I don't think that's what would happen. It's not good, regardless.
Yeah.
I rolled the 3. Wisdom would be a +2.
Okay.
So I'll stare at that label for a while.
Is there a problem, sir?
Traveler, you said?
Yes.
This bottle.
Yes, very, handsome, stately man. Stopped by the estate a couple months ago. Before leaving.
A few months ago. All right. I hope it's good. I'm sure it is. You picked it. Fantastic. Thank you.
Absolutely. If you need anything else, I'll be right outside for you.
Yes. Glasses, maybe?
There should be some over in the cabinet.
You're right. How silly. Whew. I think I took a tree to the head. All right. Ooh. Bath time.
Yep. Closes the doors.
So, what a coincidence.
Could
Ah.
we have your doggo sniff it and follow? It's probably not if it's been months.
It's, yeah. Hayes is good, but he's not that good.
I believe you also have sent Hayes out already.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. You were talking about
We were
doing it.
talking about it.
Okay.
That's why I was asking about the bag.
Bag. Yes.
Well, this could be good in the long term, but for our current things, not the best. You've seen my brother. We don't look that dissimilar.
That's true.
Oh,
He's already been here and said, "My name's Brightshield." Oh,
we're
well.
also presuming that your brother hasn't taken a facade.
That's true
Oh.
too. But it also doesn't seem like anyone here recognized you or, made any sort of connection.
He's quite interesting, walking around and not having people stare and swoon. It's a little refreshing.
Was that an issue?
Not an issue. I mean, I enjoy a little bit of attention. I don't know if you know that about me, but
No, I actually thought you were pretty reserved.
I personally do not mind people not recognizing me.
Nobody recognizes
Hmm.
me.
I mean,
I
they
asked if
definitely
you
are.
wanted to come on stage with me that one time.
Absolutely not. Also, you want to use my boat as a barge stage. That was...
It was a fantastic idea.
No.
One night on the ocean,
I drew...
international waters.
I was for it until you said the whole things with the fireworks, but then that just no explosives on the boat.
How many times do I have to say fire and water? It's the perfect combination.
You're not wrong.
Anyway,
Are we doing the plan still? Should I go find a place of worship, or does this wine temporarily change things?
no, let's you're right, we can do the plan. I will stay here drinking. I haven't had this in a very long time.
Yeah. Keep your wits about you.
I'm gonna draw a bath.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyone's free to join. I'll get in the bath. There'll be lots of bubbles, but I'm gonna be having wine if anyone wants it. I'll catch you later. I need to concentrate.
Yeah.
These sounds like you need some you time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna peek my head out the door and see if the
Yep.
servant's still there.
Yep, he's still there.
Excuse me.
Yes, how can I help you?
My friend Elina here, usually prays once a day. Do you happen to have a holy place, nearby where we could go briefly?
I mean, there's a small it's like a small shrine out in the fields that the staff, that the field workers sometimes go to. There's not really a place in the house, but if you want, I can get you out into the fields to the
Sure.
small shrine out there.
If it's nearby, sure. We don't mind a quick walk.
All right. Right this way. And he leads the two of you off. Cutting back to Nyx.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I've debated a couple of things. I'm gonna save one of them till later, maybe. But I'm gonna look at his bookshelves, and I want to see what this man is reading
Sure,
frequently. Like, what does he have by his desk?
sure.
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
How to Kill Your Son's Girlfriend 101. Wagon Accidents for Dummies.
Go ahead, Nyx, make an investigation check for me.
Ooh, non-natural 20.
Nice. You go, you examine the bookshelves here. Based on like, none of these are titles that you're familiar with. Very different, reading landscape. But based on the titles, a couple like main sort of genres, I guess, stick out to you. You see that there are quite a few books on like farming and animal husbandry and the types of things that you would expect to find in a large basically plantation. So you find, those sorts of books. You find some books on bookkeeping, some economic treatises. You do find that most of the books in here are pretty old, and not like ancient, right? But these are books that have been sitting on these shelves for quite some time. But then you see that there are some more recent books, probably purchased within just the last couple of years, that seem to be the type of book where it's like, get rich quick, how to recover from a financial setback. These aren't the titles of the books, but the titles of the books have sort of imply to you these things with your 20 investigation. You also see some about ways to ward off bad luck. So that's sort of the situation in the bookcases near the desk.
Okay. Are there any other doors in this room?
No, just the door you came in through.
What is the view outside the window?
Yeah, you go over to the windows, make a perception check for me.
That's a natural 20 again. Or
Wow.
25.
Wow.
Wait until the boss
Jeez.
fights.
I know.
Yeah, you look outside, you see sort of the back garden behind the mansion, and then beyond that, beyond the walls that close in the property immediately around the mansion, you see the sort of further like fields that this estate runs, and you see some small like houses and outbuildings and barns and stuff. So a lot of the people that actually tend the fields under the domain of the Ainsley family. You see them like out in the fields working the crops and stuff. Make a nature check for me.
16.
Okay. It's kind of hard to tell for sure at this distance, but you feel like these crops are not as healthy as they should be.
Gotcha.
So that's what you see up there.
I also want to go and look in the fireplace
Okay.
And just see if he's been burning any papers recently.
You don't see any papers burning in the fireplace. Just some ashes.
Yeah.
The dead body he's trying to get rid of.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, you also did see at the window, by the way, sort of like out towards the edge of the property, what appeared to be a small cemetery. I would say probably, it's been a few minutes since you've been looking around. Around this time, Lord Ainsley finishes his work in the ledger. He closes it up. He removes it from the top of the desk, puts it in a drawer, closes the drawer, locks the drawer, gets up, and goes to leave the room.
Oh. Okay. As he's doing that, I would like to cast Minor Illusion for a moment. Of just like the image of the girl that I saw in the vision when we were in.
Uh-huh.
I just like somewhere in the corner of the room, just like a flash of her.
Okay, what are the under components for minor illusion? What is it? What are the letters that appear there?
SM.
SM, so no V. So you can do this invisibly without drawing his attention. Okay.
This is a cantrip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yes, there is, of course, the casting a spell breaks the invisibility thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that.
You cast minor
I didn't tell
illusion,
ya.
and the girl appears. Nyx, where are you standing currently in the room?
By the fireplace? Is there a chair by the fireplace?
There's not a chair by the fireplace.
Is there anything by the fireplace?
There's the fireplace.
Okay. We'll see.
Where?
I mean, I'm gonna cast it like in the corner that he would see it out of the corner of his eye as he's walking towards the door.
Uh-huh.
This is the gate in the gate in the bank all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So you cast minor illusion to make this image appear out of the corner of his eye as he's leaving the room. As you cast the spell, you suddenly see your hands in front of you. He sees this. He's facing
away
not
from me.
at you. He's facing away from you when this happens. He sees out of the corner of his eye the girl flash for an instant. He starts to turn. You have a split second to do something. What are you going to do?
Crawl up the chimney.
All right.
Attempt to.
You're gonna try to crawl up into the chimney.
Is it lit?
No.
No,
Okay.
no. He said
Okay.
that there was no fire.
Yeah, there's no fire. Okay, you leap into the chimney. I'm trying to decide what check this is.
It's like an athletics
I think this
check.
is probably going to be 2 checks. I think the
Okay.
first check is to see if you can get up into the chimney, which is an athletics check. If you succeed, then I will call for a stealth check to see how stealthy you manage to do this.
Okay.
Did you do a barrel roll and make it an acrobatics check?
Athletics.
Athletics 15.
15. You scramble up into the fireplace. You're small. You can like wedge yourself up in there. You have to move very, very quickly in order to do this. I do need you to make a stealth check for me. At disadvantage.
Oh. Fuck, one of them's a 3. No, okay. 15.
Okay. I'm gonna roll now for Lord. Okay. You see your hands. He starts to turn as if in slow motion. You leap into the fireplace, scramble up the flue, and like wedge your arms and legs in there as hard as you can. You are covered in soot already. Lord Ainsley, you just
Just
hear
in time for dinner.
like echoing into the space. He says, You cannot keep torturing us forever. I will find a way to banish your spirit. Door slams. He got a 2 on his
Cool.
perception check.
And I'm guessing he did not have a plus, like, 13.
No.
14.
No.
All right. I'm gonna attempt to peek my head under,
Yeah, as
Not, like,
you
drop down.
peek out, he's out. He's no longer in the room. You can slide down back into the fireplace. Covered in soot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I were to disguise myself, that doesn't necessarily get rid of the dirt that is on me, does it?
You would not appear as if you had dirt on you,
But I would still be tracking
but you
dirt.
would be tracking dirt still.
Okay.
No, I'm not there.
Can I mend myself?
You cannot mend yourself. No. There is nothing to mend.
Just shake the dirt off.
I'm gonna do my best to like wipe myself off while I'm still standing in the fireplace, and then like, I'll just take my shoes off after I've like brushed as much as I can off.
Okay. You brush yourself off as best you can, then you take your shoes off. What are you doing with your shoes?
I'm just holding them.
You're just holding your
Yeah.
shoes. Okay. You step out. You're not tracking dirt because the soot is on your shoes.
Yeah.
So lucky you. Your hands are covered in soot
Yeah.
still. But for now, you're not tracking the soot across the floor.
I am going to cut my losses because I'm covered in soot, and I know I'm not going to be able to like investigate too deeply without leaving signs that I was here. So I am going to go back to the door and like listen and then like peek, and hopefully this is aligned with when Elina and Jinarra are walking and the servant guy is not there.
Make a perception check.
Okay. 22.
22. Yeah, you peek out through the you listen at the door, you peek out through the keyhole. You don't think there's anyone right outside right now, and you quickly leave and make a stealth check for me.
23.
23. You managed to scurry back to the room without attracting any attention.
I'm just gonna go over to find
Well,
Artemis
like-
in the bath, apparently covered in
Well, about
Oh.
like, I don't know, 3 or so minutes ago, I know the spell ends.
True.
And so I like jump up out of the bath and run into the room to Bowmin and Penny,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I go, "It's Nyx."
Did you put any
This is
clothes
the
on, or are
balance
you
presented.
just like running out into the common
No.
area?
There's a very
I might have
convenient
gathered some
bubble.
bubbles. Maybe there are a couple bubbles, but
At this point, this
What do we
seems
do?
like the perfect comedic moment for Nyx to rejoin you. As Artemis is standing basically naked, holding suds to cover himself up as best as
Oh,
possible.
this is a good time for Zuzu to join.
Perfect time for
Perfect
Zuzu to join. Yeah, so Nyx,
Excellent
you
timing.
get back into
Yep.
the room. Artemis is like in a huff talking to Bowmin and Penny. He did not dress himself before leaving the bath, so he's just covered in suds, placed perfectly for the camera. As you arrive back in the room, Nyx covered in soot.
Artemis,
Nyx!
what? Didn't you tell me I can be seen again if I cast a spell?
You cast a spell. No. You're not supposed to cast a spell.
That would have been good to know.
Keep your hands where they are, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, I messed that one up. Oh,
Oh, I was gonna play a little joke. I was playing a little joke, and I made a little glib. It was a really short joke too. Little flash of the girl of Brooke, in the corner as Lord Fancy Pants is leaving, and then I can see myself again. Like,
did Ainsley see you?
I don't think so. I am covered in soot and like swooped up the chimney.
I mean,
I don't
well,
think he's
let's get you.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
I don't know anything. There's a little cemetery on the edge of the property. But other than that, I really did not see much that helps us. But
Jeez. Well, luckily, I'm gonna be just another minute, but there's a bath. So we can get you cleaned up.
hey,
Or-
did you need to do that? Yes.
I'll just cast. Do I know? Yeah, prestidigitation. I'm just gonna get rid of her soot.
Perfect.
This would be what is that? And can I learn
And do
it?
you know that one?
Let me look.
If you knew it this entire time.
It's a cantrip.
I can learn it, but I would not have.
But you don't know it.
I
right
don't
now.
know it.
Yeah.
But that'll be my next one. Because I will probably become dirty in other
Do this again.
instances.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it was
Well,
really
I'm
trying.
going to.
It's really trying.
I mean, Jinarra and Elina went off to. Maybe they'll have good luck. But I'm gonna go put some clothes on
Mm-hmm.
and drink this bottle. So, bye.
What? As Artemis leaves, I'm like, what did they bring? I heard
Oh.
talk of a traveler.
It's Brightshield vintage. I know. You think they could have sprung for something better?
We all have our opinions. Is Artie okay?
Well, he just jumped out of the bath now without any clothes on.
I don't know if that tells us if he's okay or not.
The specialist would say no.
Okay. We'll go bond over soap.
Yeah.
We'll cut away from this for now. Jinarra, you and Elina have been led sort of outside of the mansion area proper and are sort of led down some like lanes into the fields. You eventually arrive at like a small cluster of like shacks. And these appear to be the homes of some of the field workers, and you are shown to a very small like shrine on the side of the road to Ezra, and are brought there to pray per y'all's request. Bertrand says, right, this is the small shrine. Do you need me to stay here, or should I head back to make sure your friends have everything they need? Can you find your way back on your own, or do you want me to stay with you?
I'm sure we can find our way back. There's no other holy people on the premises, is there? Elina loves to speak to fellow holy people on her travels. It's so weird talking for Elina.
Yeah, Elina, who cannot speak, loves to speak with people.
I'm sorry, Kyra.
Make a deception check for me.
Oh gosh.
Elina nods at advantage.
Sure. Yeah, Elina would be helping sell the.
17.
17. Okay. He says, no, not that I know of, not particularly, but
Insight check.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Can I insight check?
you can. Yeah, you're welcome
The
to.
wind whispers.
With advantage?
No.
Okay, that's fine. It's still 21.
21. He seems to be telling the truth.
Okay. And I'm assuming it's in a field, so there's no structure or anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, he are you dismissing him to go back to the house?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's sort of a small like roadside like shrine out in the outdoors in this like cluster of shacks. As you're sort of like looking around, you see Jinarra. At this point, I would say it's probably late afternoon now, because it's been a couple hours. And you guys arrived around around noon. You had a little bit of time talking with the Ainsleys, stabling the horses, all that stuff before the fight broke out. Then you had the hour of downtime, and then hour much additional time. So it's probably like 3-ish now. I would say. You are sort of looking around here, and you see peeking around the corner of one of the shacks, the worker you had saved the life of and asked to talk to for money later.
Didn't he give me he gave me a time though?
He said this evening. He did say this evening. But he sees you. He looks like he was going about his work. He sees you and he says, it's a little earlier than I was intending to meet up. But
we can meet later if it's smarter.
Yeah, maybe. But I heard you. I was over this way anyway, doing stuff. You were asking about a priest?
Yeah.
I've been working at this estate a long time. There was this priest fellow that the Ainsleys knew and had come to the estate a few times. He stopped coming here the last few years.
You don't know where he went, I'm assuming.
I don't, but I assume the Lord and Lady know.
Okay. Well, I guess that's something. I'd like to still ask you some other questions, but maybe later tonight with my friends, if that's okay.
Let's meet up. We'll meet up later.
Okay.
Thank you again for
Great.
saving my life, Magic Lady. You're the best.
Of course. Your life is important.
Gosh, that. Thank you. Name's Dutch, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Dutch. I'm Jinarra.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
Let's adopt him.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'll see you later this evening.
Sounds good.
He heads off.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to do while you're in this sort of area?
No, we're just we're gonna pray just for
Right.
appearances.
Right. And then
Maybe
make your
Elina
way
prays
back.
for real, and then we're gonna make our way back, and I'll share all that with the rest of the group.
While this is going on, Artemis is finishing his bath. Nyx is, recovering, I guess, from her ordeal. Bowmin and Penny, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, Bowman, what are we doing? I'd love to know.
Well, while Nyx and Artemis are not in earshot,
Yeah.
I feel like we should really have a plan B in case things go south.
Okay. Extrapolate.
Okay. So we know that they've met Artemis's brother.
We do.
Possibly, I don't know.
Oh, okay. We possibly know. Okay.
The connecting the dots.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Penny, you were in the room the entire time.
I blacked out for a good portion of it though, because I was just, I don't know. I think I'm hungry, so I wasn't really paying attention.
Understandable.
Mhm.
How do you feel about if things go bad, we go out guns a-blazing?
I think that's fine. I think we said that last time too, that we didn't particularly care about these people. So if we had to, like,
Yeah. I
it
mean,
would
I'm
be
not
okay.
nothing against the daughter per se, but
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how she is. We'll see what her vibe is. I don't know yet, but I mean, I
Vibe
haven't
check.
met her, but she could be also terrible. We don't know. She could like
She's-
kill baby kittens.
I mean, yeah,
We don't know.
that would be the line, especially if she did it at dinner. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
just awful.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
If she does that at dinner, it's guns out immediately. I'll make the signal to you and you'll just know the signal, and that's what we'll do.
the signal.
You'll know when you see it.
Oh, it's you pulling out your guns.
Yeah, yeah, it is. See?
Gotcha. Okay, great. Oh, that's the plan.
Perfect. We got it.
Great.
You guys should make all our plans.
I think they would be so effective.
Penny has a lot of plan ideas. I often have plans, but people just don't like them because usually they're a little dramatic.
I like your plans. Me, Sam,
Thanks,
likes your
Sam.
plans.
Not Bowman, but Sam does.
Bowman hates your plans.
That's fair.
With that, the party reconvenes. You are all able to change into your nice clothes for dinner as well. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before dinner?
Yes. Bowman would like to cast Enhance Ability on Artemis and specifically give him Eagle's Splendor, which is basically gives you advantage on charisma checks.
Nice.
Okay.
I can do
Make him extra charming.
Anything. Thank you.
Great.
Is Hayes doing anything?
Did
Yeah.
Jinarra come back and tell us that they haven't seen the
Yes.
priest?
Yeah.
Then Hayes got nothing to do, really.
I mean, unless we get into a brawl.
Oh yeah,
Then,
Hazel be around. He just won't be doing anything.
like, what's our game plan to get them to talk? Are we going to just try to like stay nice for now?
I feel like, yeah, especially because you got a whole thing happening later.
That's true. I do want to
let's-
talk to Dutch.
Let's not get kicked out if we can.
Okay. All right. We'll play nice.
We're so good at that.
Mm.
Great. With that,
Oh, wait, before we leave, does anybody have a silencing spell?
Yes.
I do.
How long does
Wait,
it last?
Do I? No, I don't. I lied.
It's up to 10 minutes, but it's just silence.
I just feel like I might need that to get through this dinner.
Wait. Oh, you personally?
Yeah.
I was gonna say your gun is silenced.
No, yeah. No, like my voice. I don't know how many times I can bite my tongue.
You can also like we can say you're sick if you want to stay in the room.
I want.
Just drink. Just drink every time you feel
No,
uncomfortable. That's what I do.
That's more dangerous.
Don't do
Because
that.
eventually I will be so drunk that there will be no filter.
Oh my gosh. You know what you could do, Nyx, is just sit next to me. I have a really good kind of like social cue where I know when something is being too much to be said. I'm pretty good at filtering myself, and I feel like I could filter you. So just sit next to me whenever I think you've gone over the line. I'll just kind of like nudge you.
See, it doesn't always like, I don't always approach a line.
No, I'll know.
I
Trust
just
me.
like, sometimes
I like this plan.
okay. I mean, I'm happy to sit next to you, Penny, but I don't know if you're gonna be
I
able to
got
hold
you.
me to this line.
I've got you.
Okay.
We go downstairs. There's assigned seating. You're very far from each other.
I will say, and with that, Bertrand arrives and escorts you all down to dinner. So you all are brought down to dinner. There's this like large dining hall. And you are each shown to your seats. There's not assigned seating necessarily, but you are indicated which seats are open to you all as guests. Artemis, however, you are sitting closer to the host's end of the table as the potential suitor of Katrina Ainsley.
Where are my notes? Where are my notes?
I don't know. That's
really useful.
you know, that could be a useful thing to have. So you are shown to your seats, and then after a moment, you all are joined by the Ainsleys themselves. First is, of course, Lord Ainsley, who goes and sits at one end of the table. Lady Ainsley sits at the other end of the table. Artemis, you are closer to Lord Ainsley. And sitting across from you is the Ainsley's daughter. She looks to be, early 20s probably, so around the same age as you, Artemis. She is wearing just an abundance of jewelry. A ton of jewelry, right? A large fancy dress, lots of accoutrement. Her darker hair is sort of way like overstyled to the point where like it looks like the whatever styling product was put in her hair has left it looking a little crispy because she's used perhaps too much of the hairstyling.
So bad.
She is, she is very pretty, but it's overwhelmed by this ostentatious show of her supposed wealth. And as you look at Lord and Lady Ainsley, you see that both of them are putting on very similar shows of their wealth. Extremely, broke out as many of their nice pieces of clothing that matched each other as possible and wore all of it. Both Lord and Lady Ainsley also wearing far too much jewelry. You catch the scent. You can smell Lord Ainsley's strong cologne. They are really desperately trying to make an impression and trying to appear as if they are not. You don't even have to make insight check to get that. Artemis and Jinarra, you also get this. Both of you, as members of high society, know that when someone is putting on this much of a show, it either means they are trying to make a statement about how low they view you, or they are trying to compensate for a lack of what they have. And knowing what you know it's the latter.
Well, we'll play the whole song and dance stand as they
Yep.
come in.
Yep.
Introduce myself to Katrina.
Yep.
Katrina.
She pulls out her hand to you. You grab it. Introduce yourself to her. Well, it is an absolute pleasure to make your acquaintance. Your name is Artemis Foxgrove, yes?
It is. And you are the lady
Katrina Ainsley, yes. An absolute pleasure. My father tells me that you and your companions were instrumental in protecting our property from some plant monsters. So thank you so much. It's quite lovely to meet someone who can stand up for us. We appreciate it.
That's the least we can do. We live in a very difficult and unique world. We have to protect the things we care about, don't we?
Yes, we certainly do. Yes, well said. You all sit down, and the first course is served. Hey.
What are we eating?
Yeah, that is a great question. While I quickly develop your menu off the top of my head, now that you have asked what we're eating.
Cook it too.
Penny, Bowmin, and Nyx. None of you go to fancy dinners all that often. There has perhaps been time for your rich friends to teach you table etiquette. Perhaps not. How much do each of you think you know about table etiquette?
A lot.
Well, Jinarra and Artemis, you know table etiquette.
Yeah.
The two of you just know table etiquette.
Bowmin probably knows his extent from being in boot camp, essentially. But other than that, not a lot. Probably doesn't know what the forks and spoons look like or do.
Look like?
Or
Never
do.
seen a fork in
Mr.
my
Bowmin.
life.
I think Penny, because she wanted so badly to be perceived as richer than she really was growing up. I think she probably would have made it her business to know at least a little bit, like enough to like pass, but not a whole lot.
Nyx knows you start from the outside and work your way in.
Okay.
And not put your elbows on the table. Because her mom told her that.
Great.
Oh, and don't burp.
Okay. What I would like from
Only
the
those
three of
rules.
you then, what I would like is deception checks, just to try to like pretend like you know what you're doing.
11?
Okay. You know the basics. 11's still not great, but
I got a 16.
okay.
Nat 20.
Nice. Bowmin and Penny, you play it off flawlessly. Even though you don't know shit. Nyx, it is obvious to the rich people at the table that you don't really know table etiquette, but
I am Shrek in Shrek 2, drinking the like
yeah, but
Oh.
it's not so bad that you get like kicked out. You just see everybody like looking at you sideways. The first course is the appetizer course, and you are delivered spinach artichoke stuffed mushrooms as your first course.
That's gross.
Oh,
So
Spinach, artichoke, stuffed mushroom.
Yeah.
All right. No meat yet.
What if we were allergic to mushrooms?
Don't eat this.
yeah, don't eat this. But as you were served all of this, Lord Ainsley turns to you, Artemis, and says, now, where did you say you were from originally?
Of course. This is why we wrote down the notes. And I wrote these notes, so clearly I know where this is written down. Dimmenlu. From Dimmenlu. Well, we are from quite a ways away. Certainly you've heard of Dimmenlu.
Ah, yes, Devonlu. It's one of the other domains of Ravenloft.
Indeed, yes. Well, yes, that's where I've been living for quite some time, but you know, a bit of traveling here and there. That's how each of us met, actually, on the road and finding each other and assembled a deep kinship, and it's been wonderful ever since. Have you traveled much yourself, Mr. Ainsley? He said Lord. That was Matt. He said Lord.
Yeah. No, I confess I have not left Mordant.
Oh, you must come to Dimmenlu sometime. We should arrange it. Sometime soon, I hope.
Yes, perhaps. I confess traveling the mists is a daunting subject for anyone. Lady Ainsley down at the other end of the table, while this conversation is going on, is at the other end of the table. She turns to the rest of you and says, so, I understand you all have traveled here from other domains of Ravenloft, yes? You must tell me, what is it like traveling the mists?
Weird.
A little scary, but definitely exciting.
Cold.
Oh, come now. I know, I see, you know, that I couldn't handle more, difficult subject matter, but surely there's more to tell about the mists than, simply it's a little scary but exciting. Come, tell me, regale me.
Have you ever traveled the mists at all?
Myself, no, I've not. That's why I'm
Really?
curious.
Well, that's so bizarre because I'm assuming you've lived in Ravenloft for what, your whole life?
In Mordant, yes, my whole
In
life.
Mordant.
You must understand. Most of us, we don't leave the domain that we grow up in. The mists are dangerous.
Mm.
You know, it was really just like traveling through a foggy field.
But surely you fought monsters. What monsters have you all fought before? I mean, the way you all fought earlier today. Surely you fought other monsters before.
Yeah.
Well, recently we were encountering some ghosts.
Well, we've
But-
got plenty of those here in Mordant.
We more specialize in people more than the regular run-of-the-mill beat.
What he means to say by that is, we are protectors. So when we are threatened, we respond.
Yeah, go ahead and make a deception check to play that one off.
We're playing
just
nice,
sounds like
Bowmin.
We're just attacking people. That's a non-natural 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Good dice today.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Mm.
Keep these.
Down at the other end of the table. And Jinarra, I'll say that you, seating arrangement wise, at the ends, one end is Lady Ainsley, one end is Lord Ainsley. Then next to Lord Ainsley are across from each other, Artemis and Katrina.
Yeah.
Then next to them, I'll say Elina and Jinarra.
Okay.
Then Bowmin, Penny, and Nyx, and Lady Ainsley. So, down at the other end of the table, towards the Lord Ainsley side, Katrina looks at Artemis and also you, Jinarra, and says, "Well, you're from Demonlu. I've heard tale. Of course, never been there myself. But I've heard tale that they hold the most wonderful masquerade balls in Demonlu. Did you ever attend?"
Oh, they are some of my absolute favorites. The extravagance, the mystery, the creativity of the guests, and which beasts or monsters they want to portray that evening. It's exhilarating, honestly. They're very fun. Quite good fun and wonderful entertainment. Some of the best musicians from all around come, and it's just a beautiful evening.
Lord Ainsley says, "Yes, well, that sounds quite pleasant indeed. So, have you met the Duchess of Demonlu at these masquerade balls?"
Well,
Can I make a
From time
history
to
check
time.
to see if that's someone I would have met?
You don't need to make a check. You would not have met them. This is a domain of Ravenloft. Demonlu is a domain of Ravenloft. So you definitely haven't met this person, the Duchess.
No, but would it make sense to say that I had?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Are they trying to trick us?
This
is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, don't make a history check. I would say what this is some kind of wisdom check. I'm gonna say insight check. Make an insight check to see if you can tell based on the context whether it would make sense to say that you've met the Duchess.
I'm using luck. I'm really
Okay.
sorry. I got really bad. Okay, that's a little bit better. 16?
16.
is it right?
16's all right. I will say that with a 16, you get the sense that the Duchess probably attends these masquerade balls that they are talking about. And so it maybe wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility to have met her.
We had the
well-
pleasure of meeting her in passing, but I confess we didn't get to have much of a conversation with her.
Well, still, the fact that you got to meet her at all, that's quite miraculous. I hear that well, I suppose you would know better than I, but, I hear that the balls there are quite exclusive, so, quite good for you.
I love this girl.
Down at the other end of the table, Lady Ainsley is continuing with her track of the conversation. Now, you said that you've dealt with ghostly matters before, yes?
Briefly, very briefly.
Do you know how to dispel a ghostly presence?
Nope.
Oh, not exactly.
Well, I will say, here in Mordant, if you all are planning on sticking around in Mordant for any length of time, you'll find that you could definitely make a lot of friends if you can figure out how to handle ghostly matters. There are ghosts innumerable here in Mordant. Most are harmless, but occasionally there are some that can cause an issue.
Yes, I could imagine that a lot of the folks in town are being haunted by some specters that are maybe from something from their past.
You sound like you have maybe have an interest in this. You seem like you are a little interested in spirits and specters. Do you have a history with ghosts at all?
Well, everyone in Mordant has a history with ghosts, of course, but I confess my primary interest is not in ghosts. I would consider myself something of an amateur entomologist, actually.
A what?
Bugs.
Yes, exactly. Butterflies, specifically.
Oh.
I think they are fascinating creatures. I like to catch them and study them, and when they die, pin them up and really study the details.
By study them, what do you mean by putting them by through binoculars or keeping them in a cage?
I have a biological interest in bugs and insects and butterflies and that sort of thing. So, different sorts of experiments depending. Once I found a butterfly that was missing a wing, and I endeavored to see how long it would survive without the wing.
Oh. How long did it survive?
Not long.
Oh,
That's too bad.
Well, there's a
imagine
time for everything.
you are at a dinner party and the hostess says, I'm really into butterflies. I did a test once to see how long a butterfly would live without a wing. It didn't live long.
Nyx is like staring at Penny like, I don't know how you're gonna try to do this, but you're gonna need to somehow
Ben.
quiet me.
Yeah.
How are their table manners?
Their table manners
Ooh.
are impeccable. They
Okay,
have
just
been
wondering.
trained. They know what they're doing, right?
Okay.
They are wealthy. They come from wealth. They wouldn't have such a large estate if they didn't. but you know from the research before you arrived here that they have fallen on hard times. At this point, the soup dish is served. You are all delivered a soup. As the soup is delivered to your plates, Lady Ainsley says, "Ah, yes, since you're from Demonloo, we were able to find a recipe for Demonloo onion soup."
Thank you.
It's French
Most
onion
thoughtful
soup.
of you, my lady.
You have French onion soup in
That's
front of
funny.
you.
Great.
Demonloo.
That's right.
Definitely.
Demonloo.
We apologize to any French viewers.
Yeah, sorry to the French.
Sorry.
I'm not sorry.
The meal continues. Cutting up to the other end of the table with Lord Ainsley and Katrina Ainsley. Lord Ainsley says, "So, if I may ask, what in particular brought you to Mordant, and how did you hear about us and my lovely daughter Katrina?"
Well, as I may have mentioned before, I was getting a little stir crazy at home, and we went about just to see the world, the worlds, just to explore. Well, we only get one life. We better do it right. See the most of it. There's so many different people to meet and different customs, ideas, stories to encounter. It fascinates me, truly. And when we came for a quick visit to my distant cousin, well, I did happen to mention over a few drinks that I don't mean to be too forward and further, lady, but I've been quite lonely the last few years. All this gallivanting around, it makes me want to remember what home is like, and just a good place to settle and feel at peace. And of course, the idea of a union between such fine homes, houses, and traditions, such as mine, and clearly your own, beyond just the transactional side of things, I'm going to make like eyes with Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
Must admit there are other things already in my visit that I found have left me feeling quite comfortable with this idea.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and make for me I guess technically. Well, I'm gonna let you make a choice between deception and performance.
My deception's better.
Either way, you get advantage.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
I never get to roll 2 dice at once. Okay. We'll do deception. There was so much lying in there.
Yeah.
Whee! A 19 and an 18. Okay. Nice. Deception. So advantage is, hold on, because I said 30 something last time. 20. My math isn't working. 32. 19 plus 13.
Wow.
I have a
Nice.
plus 13 to my deception.
Nice.
Holy shit.
And persuasion.
Okay. At this, Katrina, she blushes a little. She hands to her chest. Well, I am
clank of all the jewels.
I am honored by such marvelous words from someone as gallant as yourself, as you proved earlier today. I mean, it is a pleasure to have you here.
Of course, the pleasure is mine. Thank you again for my lord, for offering your hospitality and for beginning new friendships. I will offer a toast to everyone.
Sure, yeah, you offer your wine for a toast to new friendships, and everyone at the table cheers to that and
Yeah.
takes a little sip of their drink. And
I want to get to know this girl. What does she like to do? I'm gonna ask her what she likes to do, but we don't have to.
yeah, yeah, you ask her what she likes to do. She starts to tell you
If she
about
says she likes reading and playing with her like cats at home, we've got a problem.
no.
Artemis
Artemis
just has a type.
Yeah.
Artemis has two types. Artemis has the young woman who likes reading and cats, and also the slightly older but still handsome statesman. That's his other type.
The sophisticated gentleman.
The sophisticated gentleman is his other type. Artemis
The name of his gay bar.
Artemis likes DILFs and
Yeah.
anyway.
And girls he can save.
And girls he can save.
Ooh, there's nothing wrong with that statement.
Nope. Nope.
2023 Artemis Brightshield canceled.
He's being canceled. No.
Anyway, she starts to answer talking about like how she enjoys needlework and spinning and knitting and that sort of thing. And we'll cut down to the other end of the table now. As you all are enjoying your soup. Lady Ainsley says, well, I must let you all know that the soup of your homeland, Demnu, is quite tasty. I've never personally had this recipe before, but it's very good. Where you come from? How does this stack up to this type of soup back at home?
Well, you know what they always say, nothing like your mom's cooking. But this is pretty good.
If I were to give it a rating, it would be a 3.5 out of 5.
It's a passing score.
Mhm.
I would rate it a 4 or a 4.5.
They just put way too much salt.
Gonna fire the poor cook.
There's something just so
Yeah, they're gonna
special about
kill him
Demenlu
off in a minute.
onions.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't get a better onion than in Demenlu.
Can't go wrong.
Of course.
We are terrible at small talk.
So
We're gonna leave this house with whatever the guy's name.
Right.
What is it?
Dutch?
Dutch.
Mm.
We're gonna leave here with Dutch, and we're gonna have to bring along this poor girl.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're adopting her now.
the Lady Ainsley says, I understand. Of course, it's hard to source onions from another domain of Ravenloft, but you know, everything's better back at home, of course, I'm sure. Now, you must tell me, you all have been traveling around the domains of Ravenloft for quite some time. What other realms have you been to?
We haven't traveled too far. One of the last places we were at, were looking at my notes.
only been here.
I
Mhm.
know. I know what other spot.
Say Oikos.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
We've been to is it Falknova?
Falkovnia.
Falkonvinia.
Quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there.
Before this, but we weren't there for too long.
Well, I can imagine why. The reports I've heard of of that place. It sounds like a dreadful place to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
pretty inhospitable.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yes, well, I mean, we struggle with ghosts here, but compared to an endless army of zombies, no, we're lucky here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, count yourself lucky.
What's brought you to Falcovnia, if I may ask? I mean, I can't imagine why anyone would want to go there.
So, we've been traveling for a while, and we've heard rumors of a place that some claim not to exist. I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Very intriguing.
Yeah.
Do it under your breath so it looks like we're getting really close and personal with her.
So, have you ever heard of a place called Oikos?
What was that?
Oh no! Wait, this is not a good idea.
It's a. Can I insight check to see if she
Make an
can't
insight
remember?
check.
Gift of gab.
24.
She didn't hear what you just said, or she heard what you just said.
Oh, incredible.
You know how the curse works.
Right. It seems like the curse. She's not bluffing the curse.
She's not bluffing.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
She heard you say it, and then her brain erased the
Right.
information, and then she was just like, why is it silent? And then she asked what you just said.
I'm so sorry. I said oinkos.
Amazing.
I don't think
It's
I've
really secret, so I'm sorry. I have to keep my voice low.
I don't think I've heard of such a place, no.
Oh, well, apparently there are real pigs there. Like, everyone gets turned into a pig.
Dreadful.
Yeah. It's
Better than
terrible.
the zombies.
Probably easier to yeah, but you never know, pigs can get pretty angry. But we want to go check it out.
At this, the next course is delivered.
I swear to
Yes,
God,
let's
it's a
move on
ham.
from the soup.
The entree is delivered. This is pork braised short ribs, as well as a nice roasted vegetable medley. The meal continues on. At this point,
Sounds delicious.
I'm
Why don't you
going.
make your cook?
Oh my god! At this point, I'm going to throw it to y'all to lead the conversation at the various ends of the table. So Jinarra and Artemis, you may lead the conversation with Lord Ainsley and Katrina Ainsley, and Nyx, Bowmin, and Penny can lead the conversation with Lady Ainsley.
Put us at one end of the table. Why didn't we mix in the rich and poor people a little better?
Because the rich people put themselves,
yeah,
like the rich people were seated
that's true. Fair.
somewhere.
We sat.
Yeah.
And we filled in the rest.
Katrina, so do you have any interest in traveling?
Oh, not particularly, no. I mean, we've got such a lovely estate here. I mean, I wouldn't want to leave. I confess, I enjoyed a trip into town, but town lost its luster. So,
Oh, you have a townhome.
Lord Ainsley says, we used to have a townhome. Unfortunately, there were some structural flaws in the foundation that made the house, unsafe to reside in. So we're working on getting that fixed right now, but we've just been so busy with the harvest that we haven't had a chance to see to the proper repairs recently.
Of course.
Oh.
Was it located nearby?
The townhome was located in Mordenshire, in the village. Yes.
Oh. Perhaps we walked past it. You know, my good point towards Bowmin. My good man of muscle over there is actually quite handy with a bit of a, hammer, nails. Sometimes I just watch him work while I'm tending to the books. It's very entertaining. Perhaps you could take a look. Help get the house
Well,
structurally sound.
I appreciate the offer, but we've had contractors in there looking at it. It's some severe foundation issues. There's a flaw in the bedrock that my grandfather, who had the house built initially, was not aware of, and it deteriorated over time. We just decided, as safety precaution, to move out of the village townhome. But we have such a lovely estate here, and it, if we need to go into town, we can stay with friends or what have you, if it's going to be too long a journey to get back here before nightfall. At the other end of the table, what are we talking about?
So okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I am a very simple man. Mrs. or Ms. or Madam Ainsley, how would you be?
Lady.
Lady Ainsley. My apologies. Why are you so interested in our travels? Do you want to join us?
Heavens, no. I have no interest in traveling. No, I'm just curious is all. News from other domains of Ravenloft comes so rarely. There's, as I say, very few people who travel between the different domains, so anyone who does is interesting, is intriguing.
Yes, it's a very fun life, I would say. With us, especially, it's a lot of work too. It's kind of, you asked about the mist earlier, and I was thinking about the best way to describe it is terrifying. Because if you're scared even a little bit, or even a little bit of guilt, the mist will find out. And it'll just drag it out of you.
Yes, what my friend Bowmin definitely is referring to here is that travel can take such a toll on us, and it's so lovely for you guys to invite us in and everything with Artemis and Katrina. Your house is so lovely, Lady Ainsley. It's beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yes, and I must thank you once again. Of course, we would be happy to take you in after you prevented extreme damage to the property. I understand there was some slight property damage that couldn't be helped, but you prevented it from being much worse. It could have been much worse. So we're happy to have you join us.
But we don't want to put you out. Is it just Katrina here with you? Do you have other family living in the manor?
And while we're asking these key questions, I want to do a perception check on
Make
her.
an insight check, yes.
Insight check, okay.
She says, yes, it is just Lord Ainsley, myself, and Katrina as members of the family here. We do have a son, Bryant Ainsley, but he is away for schooling right now. Yes.
That's so interesting.
What'd you get on your insight check, Bowmin?
That is a 22.
22. Oh, she's fucking lying. Bryant is not at school. Bryant's not at school.
It was really more of
But in terms of if there is anyone else currently staying on property, she is telling the truth as far as you can tell. I mean, there's obviously the staff, right? The field workers, the household staff, everybody there, but she doesn't count them.
Obviously.
So
That's so interesting. I remember when Artemis was inquiring about Katrina, Bryant never came up. I don't. Has he been away at school long?
yes, he's been away for several years now. Yes.
What's he learning?
Mathematics.
Oh,
I
Smart
was
young
never a
boy.
math person, so good for him.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's amazing.
He's
What's he
quite-
hoping to do with mathematics?
Balance their fucking estate.
Well, he, when the time comes, he is the heir to to the estate. And so having a good mathematical mind will help him run the property, and make sure that everything is all the accounts are taken care of. When
Well,
the
I'm
time
sure-
comes, of course.
well, I'm sure if he takes after yourself and Lord Ainsley, he's probably beating off women with a stick with the amount of suitors. He's probably fine. He's fine. God damn it. I am trying to get this woman to crack.
Can I hear this where I am?
No, we're at the far end of the table.
You can hear
someone
it a
say,
little
like,
bit,
20-foot
but
ones.
like this is happening while you're having that conversation with Katrina. So you would have to leave your current conversation to intervene in this conversation.
Oh, I'm not interested in intervening.
Okay.
Just
I want to ask Katrina a question.
Okay. So Lady Ainsley cocks her head a little bit and is
I'm not gonna save you.
trying to follow what you had said, and she's like, oh, I see what you were saying. It must be an expression I'm just not familiar with.
It's an where are we from again?
Demonlu,
Demonlu.
It's an old Demonlu.
That was Kelly, not Nyx. Nyx did not turn to Penny and go,
clawing Nyx's hand on the table.
fork in hand.
Okay, so to be clear, that was Kelly that said, "Where are we from?" Okay.
No.
To you, Ben.
No, keep it in.
Writing it down now.
Okay. So, anyway, what did you say? That's an expression in Demonlu.
An old Demonlu expression.
Okay, there we go. Says, I see. Well, Bryant has not written home about any particularly serious prospects, but every young man, when he's away at university, likes to experiment.
Oh my.
Christ.
That's interesting.
Mom.
And he's older than Katrina, right? How old is he?
He is Katrina's elder sibling. Yes, he is 27 now.
27 and still at school. Oh my goodness. Really?
Well, he left for school late. He wanted to stay at home and make sure everything was running smoothly.
I'm sure him and Katrina get along very well.
Yes, well enough. I mean, they both have their own interests and social circles, but well enough.
More power to him for going and getting that education. Some people don't have that opportunity, so he should really take every
Penny's grip is
opportunity.
getting very, very tight. And she's kind of clearing her throat.
Jinarra, you had something you wanted to ask Katrina, yes?
Yes, I was just wondering, are you an only sibling? Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Oh, yes, I have a brother,
Oh,
named Bryant. Yes. Lord Ainsley steps in and says, Bryant is currently away at school studying mathematics so that he can take over the family business when the time comes.
Oh, that's great. Are you two close?
As
Katrina.
close as any. Oh, to Katrina.
To Katrina.
I was like, wow, Dad's answering for Katrina.
I clarified, it's fine.
Not particularly. I mean, he's been away at school for a few years, so it's been some time.
Can I insight check to
I was
see
gonna-
if she even knows?
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
an insight check.
That's what I wanted to do.
God.
Like,
May I
honestly?
as well?
Yeah.
Well, she did say have. And that sounded like a
Sure. But is she lying or?
right.
23.
23, Artemis.
Oh, I rolled a 2, 8.
I'm gonna send a message to Eva.
Ooh.
Secret.
She did it.
secret.
Damn.
We're going after the wrong person.
Man, I hope she doesn't know.
Um,
Is there, Eva, if you have anything else following up on that?
I need a second. Go on.
Oh, of course, because Elina is stuffing her face with so many mashed potatoes right now. She was saying just earlier, when we came through Mordenshire, we stopped by a place of worship for her to kind of bless the last length of our journey. And they mentioned that there may be another of their patrons, another of their order here. Was there a oh goodness, what was his name? Brother Fernando? Or someone they said that they might think that he was here with you.
Lord Ainsley says, I don't know why anyone would think that there's a man of the cloth.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Well, forgive me. My family keeps Elina around, just being, the lands we live in. It's always useful. Perhaps that was a presumption. I apologize.
No, no need to apologize. No, I mean, we've known some of the priests at the Church of Ezra, but no, there's no one that we have been particularly close with, if that's like Elina, as you say.
Oh. Shame. It's always comforting to meet another, but no matter. Insight check, please.
Yeah.
Just in case. Okay, 20.
Yeah, he's lying, right? Like, he had a relationship with Brother Francis. He does seem a little off-put by your line of questioning, but doesn't seem to think you know.
Great. I'll spend the next few moments or minutes covering that up with some wonderful, pretty rich boy antics.
Sure. Just make a general deception check for me.
Ooh.
And advantage, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not the greatest. 25.
Not the greatest. 25. Yeah, easy enough. You managed to talk your way, out of that. Nyx, you had something you wanted to say?
I was just gonna say that maybe the reason why Alina's not participating in this conversation is because she takes a vow of silence when she eats her food. Things like that. I don't know.
She doesn't eat with her mouth open, so it's a valid silence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. Great. Any other topics of conversation before we move on to the dessert?
Can I see the label of the wine? Is that ever mentioned whatsoever?
The label of the wine is not mentioned. When they are coming around and pouring the wine, it is not Brightshield wine.
Sure. Great. Eventually, just no, wait. As dinner's wrapping up, so
Okay. The dessert course is served. You are served it is announced as a chocolate torte. So you were delivered this nice chocolate torte with raspberries and whipped cream, which is a time-consuming process. You can't just go to the store and buy whipped cream. You actually have to whip the cream.
Yeah.
But chocolate torte with whipped cream.
This is absolutely delicious.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yes, please give our compliments to your cook. They have done a wonderful job with all of this food. After dinner, I assume we're gonna excuse ourselves to a sitting room. Would you mind showing us your I don't know the proper word for it because I've never had an interest before now, but your bugs?
Oh, yes, I can show you the study where I do my work, my entomology.
Cool.
Yes, if you're interested. Yes, when things move into the sitting room, I can take you to see that. After all, we want to leave a little time for your friend and our daughter to get to know one another privately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, throughout the rest of dinner, just try to observe Katrina more.
Mhm.
And I'm going to just try to like catch Artemis's eye and just try to like silently like give him the feeling that I don't trust her.
Okay. Artemis, do you pick up on what she's putting down?
well, that is my specialty, but I guess I'll roll insight, or is it? Do we know each other well
You
enough?
message me.
I
feel
think-
like you
I think you
probably
That's what I'm
know me
thinking.
You
well
know each
enough.
other very well.
If I notice something's up, I would try to find a way to
Yeah.
message. That's what I was thinking. But do I notice?
I think you know each other well enough.
Wait, my passive perception is 20.
Yeah.
Yes, I noticed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have a bit of something goes down the wrong pipe.
Yeah.
So sorry. This will get a little red napkin up, and I will behind the napkin cast message.
Sure. Go ahead and slide of hands this for me.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
I'm watching, so I'll help. Or I can do luck if it's terrible.
Is it advantage?
No.
How do you help? Like,
I'll-
how do you propose
Distract.
Jinarra is helping cover this up?
I'll just be like, "Are you okay?" And just, like move my hands
Okay.
like in
Trying
a
to,
way
pat
that's
his-
just
okay.
sort of like distracting.
Sure. Sure.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage.
Incredible. Okay, much better. 23.
23. Yeah, you can cast message without anyone noticing.
Okay, great. Message. Are you trying to get my attention?
Yes. She knows. I don't know how much she knows, but she knows that her brother's dead. Be careful.
So sorry about that. Well, as long as I'm still making noise, then I'm not going to die. Still there
Yes.
getting out.
Well said. It happens to the best of us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is dinner nearing its end?
Yeah, this is the dessert course, so
Okay,
you're all
I'll
finishing
finish
up
off
dinner.
the dinner. Like, I do know we are getting a little, I don't know, pocket watch, a little later in the evening, but Lady Katrina, I would be honored if you joined me perhaps for a quick promenade around the gardens, just a moment for us to get to know each other, just swap some stories.
Yes, that would be lovely. I would love to do that. Thank you. Yeah, Bowmin.
Hayes is going to just tail them. Just
Okay.
kind of
Sure.
keep an eye on them.
Sure. The rest of as dinner finishes, you all gather in a sort of what would typically be like a sunroom, but it's night now, so it's dark. But it has
The
good
moon room.
windows. It's good windows looking out over the back garden. Artemis and Katrina go off into the gardens alone. But the rest of you can kind of vaguely make them out from the lights of the mansion.
So we can see if she starts stabbing him.
Theoretically, unless she does it
Is
behind a
his-
plant or something.
That's why
But we're
Hayes
not-
is
we're
out
not-
there.
Are we supervised?
You
Like,
look
is the family trailing
Is-
along behind?
Are they
or...
chaperoned? Because
Yeah.
they're not
We
chaperoned.
chaperoned?
you see that
So like a lady in
there
waiting.
seems to be a member of the household staff trailing you at a respectful distance.
This ain't no Bridgerton.
So they
folks.
can keep an eye on you, but they're not all up in your shit.
But they're also paid by the household.
Right.
It's more to save Katrina's skin than for Artie's
Mhm.
benefit.
Right. You the rest of you are in this room. The rest of you are in this room, and Lady Ainsley says that if anyone wants to go see the entomology, because Nyx had asked, they are welcome to join her. And she starts taking some of you up to her study. So this seems like a good spot to call it for the night. I don't know what the editing situation on this is going to be, but for those of you who are watching us, we did have some technical difficulties right at the end here, so we will pick back up next time, joining Artemis and Katrina in their walk in the garden. But thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you all for playing, and we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.